Hey guys, Jenn Reed here. I am joined by my dog Rama, who I think is mad at me because he won't look at the camera. But I thought I would take the time, it's Christmas Eve 2020, to give you some updates on the documentary that we filmed 30 years ago, Christmas in the Philippines. Some of you have left comments asking how is Mr. Reed or Senator Reed, what does he look like now? Where does he live? So what I thought I would do is I will invite him in a few minutes here to join me, and we can go through some of the comments that you guys have left and we'll hear from him. So Rick, it's been 30 years since we filmed Christmas in the Philippines, and I'm looking through the comments on our YouTube channel, and it's really interesting because when I uploaded this video about 11 years ago on YouTube, I did it because I knew that if I had left it on VHS, that after some time the quality would degrade. And at that time I didn't have a lot of room in my hard drive, so I thought, gosh, why not use YouTube? Let me just break up the video into 18-20 minute segments, put it in YouTube, and that way I will be able to save it so later on when my son is grown, he can watch the whole documentary. Little did I know that by doing that it would touch a lot of people. So throughout the years, 250,000 views later, I'm scrolling through some of the comments, and I'm just really struck about how touching some of these comments are from those people who have watched the show. One of them says, "Oh my God, I love this classic video. I'm crying nonstop. Thanks so much, Senator Reed, for posting this video. I'm abroad and I'm going home next year, and I'm feeling very homesick now. May God bless you and your family too."
Yeah, a lot of the responses that we've gotten over the years from the people watching Christmas in the Philippines made them homesick. People who had left the Philippines, were living in the U.S. or other places around the world, made them so homesick. And there's a uniqueness about the Filipino culture that we managed to capture, even though we didn't go there with that in mind.
Right.
We captured the sweetness and the warmth of the Filipino culture, that people who grew up in that culture see that film and it makes them homesick. So that's typical of hundreds of comments that we've gotten, that you're making me cry kind of thing, right?
Remember that event in San Francisco a while back, and there was a huge convention of Americans of Filipino ancestry.
Yeah.
A bunch of businessmen in San Francisco get together, and we showed the video, and like within 5 minutes,
people were crying.
People were crying, looking for tissues because they were just bawling. That's really cool. There's another one here that I thought was really fun. It says something. Let me see. It says, "Oh, I heard Agsipud ayatin ka. Mrs. Reed, are you Ilocana? God bless your family." So to answer your question, my dad is Ilocano, was Ilocano. My mom was from Surigao, from Mindanao, so I'm kind of mixed, I guess. I speak Tagalog, Cebuano. I speak a little bit of Ilocano because my parents didn't teach me how to speak Ilocano, so that when they fought, then I wouldn't understand what they were saying. But yes, my dad was from Langangilang, Abra. There's another comment here about, let's see, something about the veterans that you met when you were in Cebu. Apparently this user, his or her dad was also one of the vets. Remember that scene where...
Yeah. Growing up, my dad had fought in World War II, and for a period of time was in the Philippines during the war. And little things that he would do, I would learn later, he had picked up while he was serving in the Philippines. Every morning he would wake us up with what he called the Filipino love call. And it was, psst, psst. And we know it was time to get up. Dad had breakfast ready. And he, my dad was very humble and sweet, and he really clicked with the local people in the Philippines when he was there. He always spoke very highly of them. So it was really pleasant for me to get to meet people in the Philippines. We actually met a gentleman who had fought in the war and had served with my dad, and so that was a pleasant surprise.
Cool. Well, here's another one that is probably it would be funny for you if you look back at, on the scene here. Flonis said, "Pagbubunot ng sahig, that is how we probably learn how to dance, LOL." Remember the scene where you were
Cleaning the floor.
Yeah, with
I
the
still do it.
bunot?
I still do that sometimes.
So this one is just, so it's interesting because a lot of the comments here has spanned, you know, throughout the years, and some of them were like 8 years ago. Like Leo Gabral 8 years ago said, "God bless Mr. Reed for appreciating Philippine Christmas. Maraming salamat at mabuhay ka," all the way to some. Well, there's one comment here like a couple of weeks ago about how it's difficult it is now with the pandemic, and you know, we can't travel, but still we need to remember, you know, who is the focus for celebrating Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And that was nice thing about the Philippines, it's always focused on Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. Not always true. Not always true. People get so caught up in the presents in the trees and you know, the whole extraneous parts about Christmas. So yeah, that was part of what we managed to capture in this film was how so much of what is really special about the Philippines is the focus on Jesus Christ as the key element in the Christmas celebration. So people, we've got hundreds of comments from people who just really appreciated that aspect of it. By the way, it has been 3 decades since we produced the film, and therefore what our friends watching don't realize is that we have a 23-year-old son who was born 7 years after that that filming in the Philippines. So 6'3" Pinoy son.
Yes. Hapahali or
Hapahali,
mestizo
yeah.
in the Philippines, we call it
Mestizo,
mestizo.
yeah.
Mhm. So here's another comment that I thought would be funny for you if you remember back. Rick Martian said, "Every time you visit someone, it's always a merienda time. Ha ha ha, Pinoy customs and traditions. I really miss my country, especially during the holiday seasons. So sad."
Yeah, it reminds me of when you first moved to the United States. We were in California for a while, and you said, "God, what's with all the walls?" In the Philippines, in my experience, I think what he's suggesting is that a warmth that anybody you meet wants you to come in and eat something. Right? I think I gained 5 pounds while we were producing this Christmas in the Philippines film.
Right. So anyway, we thought that we would just wanted to greet you guys and thank you for your support and for watching the video, but we wanted to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you very much.